but I also don't want to merge this until I'm 100% sure that it will pass. But you know what, it's fine. Let's check out a new branch. Or I don't know, how long are you gonna take? Probably not that long. Let's look at the docs and let's figure out what we're gonna have to do while this is running. Um, that seems like a smart thing to do. So, okay, applying plugin to single module project. This is us. So we basically add the plugin the way we add all of our other Gradle plugins. Um, and then we don't need to worry about multi-module projects, but once applied, the plugin could be used out of the box without additional configuration. This is actually really interesting. I wonder how they managed to pull that off. But um, let's look at some of the configuration that we could do. So if you need to disable or filter instrumentation for some test task, you may configure the extension for it. For example, to configure a standard test, blah, blah, you need to have the following code to the build script of the module where this task is declared. So I don't understand what this means. But for other platforms, Android, Kotlin, multi-platform, the name may differ. You may also have several tasks. So you first need to determine the name of the required tasks. Maybe this is saying like we're configuring cover to run when this task runs, even though it sounds like that should have worked out of the box. But okay, if you need to change the name of the XML report or HTML file directory, you may configure the corresponding tasks. Okay, I don't think we need to do that. Um, oh, but I like that there's, I like that they have this. So they have this cover collect reports, which will collect reports from all modules in the build file of the root module. That's cool. Um, got it, and we could change some other coverage stuff. Um, okay, I think that we can, but I wonder what. Okay, here, the plugin, when applied, automatically creates tasks for the module. All modules of the project is multi-module and applied in root build script. But we have cover XML report, cover HTML report. So this is the task that we'll want to run when we do this. Okay, let's check in on this guy. Is this still running? Okay, I'm going to assume that this will pass, and I'm just going to merge this now and get it out of the way. And if I break the app, then I break the app. It's fine. Okay, so let's go back here. Let's check out development. And all right, let's check out a new thing, test coverage. Okay, so let's go ahead and use this. Let's go up here. Um, I mean, it's not my production app, right? It's fine. Um, and let's copy this out here. So a couple things I was thinking about here as I go to do this. Well, first, let's do cover version. This is 0.4.1. Let's add that down here. Since I have it open, let's just get this out of the way. Let's actually, there aren't any releases here. Well, this is where they should go when there are releases. But let's add this. The other thing to think about is, so even if I don't do any custom configuration for this cover plugin yet, I would like to be consistent and still have like a build scripts file just for this plugin cover background. And then at the top, all we're going to have is, apply plugin cover. here's where I would do additional configuration, which we may come back to later, but I don't need it now. I want to have it in that file so that when the time comes, I can just go ahead and do that. So let's add that and then let's sync this and let's see what we get. Well, let's hopefully it doesn't break. Gonna just update our little low tech checklist over there. We're adding test coverage. Okay, this synced. That looks good. So then actually, if I look at Gradle here, um, inside app, do I have like a nice? I have cover HTML report. Let's run this and let's see if it does just work out of the box. Um, and I don't remember where it said the report goes by default. I thought it said. Um, ooh, what is this one? Oh, you can set like bounds for like lines covered and stuff. That's cool. This might take a little bit because I think not only does it have to run, but it will then run the tests. Will it? This is actually a good question. If it's smart enough to know to run the tests, um, I would assume so, but we'll find out. Trax, speaking of Sebastiano, did you get to watch Code with the Italians today? I saw that they were taking a second stab at Material 3, and I'm wondering how it went for them. If it went well at all. Okay, what do we got here? Could not resolve all files for configuration. IntelliJ. Yes, but not on stream. They fixed it later. Nice. I'm glad they got it working. Um, what am I missing here? Could not find well this thing. Okay, is there maybe a repository that was missed? Maven Central class path. Interesting. Um, let's read this error again. So it could not find IntelliJ coverage agent. Let's see if we can find. So what I'm gonna do, I love when we get to do this, when I get to share issues. So for this issue, for this could not find, I'm not gonna go straight to Google on this one. I'm going to do a search inside this project to see if there's anything like it. Um, specifically in issues. So like here we go. Some dependencies are not resolved. Let's see if this is. This looks like they were having a similar error. Okay, so this is a duplicate of something else. Since cover has something that relies on IntelliJ dependencies, I'm unable to use it, blah, blah, blah. Wait, I don't. Um, I'm so confused here. Some people are saying it will work, and some people will saying it does not. Unfortunately, the IntelliJ coverage agent artifacts are still located only in the JetBrains repository. Um, are there any workarounds? I don't get it. Using this in the root. I'm pretty sure I have this already. Maybe I don't? I mean, I have it here. Let's try that solution. Um, let's just try this. Let's just try some copy and paste here. See if that will do it. No, this is yelling at me for a different reason. Can I not put this here? Oh, because it has settings repositories. Oh, is that the issue? Yeah, because we have this settings.gradle. Um, and they're saying that. Can I remove this line? What happens if I just remove this line? I'm just guessing here because I don't really understand what was going on in those comments. Okay, that doesn't fix it. All right, this is what I write comments I can't dissect. Um, well, it sounds like, well, what I'm confused is, um, wait, you could set prefer settings and add that repo to your settings script to work around the issue and prevent the need for all projects. What does that mean? What if I just do, but I think they're saying this isn't enough, that I would need to add that, add this repository. Um, right? So if I run this, this probably fails, right? Um, but I don't know if it's just, is this how you do it? I think so. I want to see what this is saying. Hmm. Uh, I don't remember the syntax for this. I thought it was like this, but I could be wrong. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna move on because it sounds like it's also an issue on how the plugin handles its own dependencies. Um, but if this is a potential workaround, then cool, we can move forward a little bit. Because I mean, yeah, there are tools, right? Like I could use Jacoco directly. Um, Shout out to Raphael suggested this. I could use Jacoco directly, but I'll be honest, I never turned down an opportunity to use something built by the Kotlin team. Like it's just, well, I mean, obviously as long as I need it, but like if I need something and I found out the Kotlin team built it, like I'm just gonna use their stuff. Um, I've never had issues with any of their stuff. So not to say that it's perfect. Always a stipulation there, but ooh, wait, that was a build successful. Okay. Um, okay. So cover HTML report is okay, so app build cover. Wait, why aren't you there? Oh, app build reports, cover, HTML. So um, let's do this. Wait, actually, if I click on this, will it open my browser? It won't. Um, so we're gonna, come on. We're gonna copy that, go over into our browser here. Nice. Look at that. Our coverage is 21%. You know? Oh, you can't see that. Okay. Now that was a font size for ants. Um, this is actually really cool. We got um we got our test coverage. It's awful, but actually I mean we kind of knew that, right? Like we kind of knew that because we haven't really been emphasizing a ton of stuff. Our data folder is 100% coverage. But like none of the DI stuff. UI components, well, I'm curious how Cover would handle like words. Combining coverage reports. I know this is like a concern that a lot of people have is like, well, I have UI tests that are run separately and those cover code. So like how do we can build like a coverage report for that, but then how do you combine them? And it seems like this Kotlin tool had a solution to that. And let's look at it. What's the word? Combine? Nope. Oh, well, there's like collecting code coverage reports. But I don't know what we do to like um sort of combine them if we wanted to. Uh, but maybe there's some way to do it. Um, but okay, we can run with this for now. This is a start, and sure, even if this is only the test coverage via unit tests, we're getting coverage. So let's go ahead and commit this. What is this here? Oh, I don't. We're going to. I don't think we want this. We're going to add you to get ignore. Um, that's a video about it. Okay, cool. I'm going to save that. 10-minute video. Oh god. It's a 10-minute video, but thank you for sending that to me. I'm gonna uh, save this and watch it later. Um, but now we can view. Let me pull this up on my other window because I don't want it to. Um, uh, I want to make sure I don't show anything that is technically in like my work history here. Um, Okay, well, I'm not signed in on this laptop, so I can show you. So this tool called Coveralls is a way to monitor your test coverage reports. So like zooming in on like their sample here, it's kind of cool. Like this graph in the background is code coverage over time for a repo. And then it shows you like when the repo was added, like total files. It gives you like tons of information. And it basically takes those like Jacoco like XML files um, and it parses those and throws them in here. I have no idea if this would how well this works with Cover. If it works, we could find out. Um, I'm pretty sure that this is a tool that is also like free for open source projects. Um, so we could try this out. Um, let's let me do this over here because I know I use my own account for work, and so I don't want to like do the GitHub sign in and then show off proprietary info. Sorry, so I want to just have this on my own thing here. Um, repos. add repos, TOA. Um, so wait, sorry, I was so close. Nice, okay. So if I pull this over here, um, there have been no builds for this repo. So that's to be expected. We're gonna remove that. Um, I'll have to blur that later. Not that anyone's gonna take. I mean, if someone fucks up my repo token, I'll just get it later. Okay, but this is giving me info where like I have like a repo token and how do I do this? Um, there's a Coveralls gem and I can just I have to figure out how to send stuff to Coveralls. I may have to do some research on this, and maybe we'll do the actual Coveralls portion in another stream. Um, but we have test coverage for now that we can run locally, and like that's still cool for the projects. So let's this a plugin for generating test coverage, and maybe we can like poke around that file and like look at words. Uh, why can't I think of anything? Like tests we could write or something. But let's add this for generating text coverage. So let's add these real quick. So I'm going to copy that video link real quick. And let's get that repo. That's here. Whoops. Here. And let's push those. Um, yeah, this is cool. I would like to see if we could figure out how we like ignore stuff. Um, that's like a big thing that Jacoco has to offer is you can like tell it to exclude certain files. Um, and that's because, you know, if we look at like uh, this here, we see this like hill to aggregated dependencies that has like 0% coverage. That's all because this is generated code um, that shouldn't be included in our coverage report. So, oops, sorry, message. Um, aha, so here we go. So this has, oh, that's what we were looking at earlier that I was really confused. So this shows how we could do it for like Android. So when we configure cover, we say like excludes, we give it like a list of um, packages to include com.example.subpackage.whatever. Interesting. Can we, I think that we could do this. Can we do it in the global thing? Maybe not. Okay, so let's take this code that we've got. Oh wait, oh my God. I'm looking at my other monitor. I'm so sorry. This is such an Atom thing. Um, okay. Back into the cover docs. So this is where we saw like the Android configurations and you know like okay when unit test run if it's test debug unit test we have this extensions.configure blah 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 and then we set this excludes um, and like we can give it like packages to exclude from the coverage report. So we're gonna try that. More specifically, we're going to try the Groovy version. Um, so let's do that. Um, And let's see if we can just add that name and see if we can't get it to work. So let's go here. This at the bottom of this. Let's clean this up. Like this is all the same. Includes we can leave. Uh, let's just try this. Hilt aggregated. I think we'll just put that name. Let's see if that's enough. Uh, let's see, there's syntax here. I guess we could put like the dot star at the end, like anything that starts with that. Let's see if that's enough to ignore it. So what we'll do then is we'll go back over here. We'll do cover HTML report. Um, that ran way too fast. I don't trust that. Yeah, it's still there. Let's do probably cached clean, cover HTML report. And let's see what this does. It's taking its time. We should be writing some more tests for this project. Like I knew that it was gonna be low, but like 20% feels really low. I feel like I haven't tested any of our stuff yet. Um, but I'm actually curious what that percentage will look like once we um, ignore some of the things that we expect to be ignored, at least. Oh, but did that say there was only like 9 tests? I might not have a lot of tests in the repo. Oh yeah, there's literally 10 of them. Okay, so we haven't done a lot of testing. We did a lot of testing in the study guide app. That we spent a lot of time. But to have 10 means we're probably overdue for some testing. Um, we have yet to do a Compose UI testing stream for this app, so that's definitely something we could work on. Cool, that's done, so let's refresh this. And that's still there. Hmm. Interesting. I wonder if we can, huh. Um, okay. That didn't work well. Whoops, we looked at the Groovy version. Um, hmm. I wonder, hilt aggregated depths. That's what we added, right? That's what we excluded. Um, I guess. Hmm. What happens if I just do like a wildcard before and after that? Let's see what that does. Code coverage is fun. Uh, anyone working on anything exciting this week? Or see any cool Android news or whatever? I saw a cool tweet today that blew my mind of a keyboard shortcut in Slack that I had no idea existed. But in Slack, if you do like a plus sign followed by an emoji, then it will use that emoji as a reaction on the previous message in the channel. Thought that was cool. Uh, didn't know you could do that. Yes. Um, Prince, Prince and I had that moment. Oh, so that backslash. Uh, so what that is doing is this is like an escape character for a period. So you can't just do com.example. It's kind of like, I don't remember why. I don't know if it's because it does a regex or something, but this is basically like an escape character. So this is basically saying just a period. And then this dot star is kind of like regex for like anything. So, ooh, are you gonna watch it on Disney Plus? Is that why you're saying Friday? Because we also plan to watch that this weekend. Um, if you upgrade to Spotless 6.0, it shows great sports Gradle config. Interesting. I don't use Spotless, and I like you're the second person, or maybe you brought it up last time to bring that up in the stream, and like I don't know much about it. Is it just like a wrapper around KT Um, okay, that's annoying. Let's hmm, uh, huh. We could. All right, just to make sure this works. Um, let's let's go back to their example. Um, of like excluding a package, right? And offers additional support for other. No, we have KT-lint by itself. Well, we have like a Gradle plugin for KT-lint, but not Spotless. Um, okay, so I'm gonna steal their example right out of the docs, but we're basically just going to ignore the root folder. I just want to make sure this excludes thing works. Um, but actually, ooh, so if this doesn't work, the the only time Spotless was used was for the Android Dev Challenge apps, and that's because it came included in the Android Dev Challenge template. But it's not something I've ever used personally, and something I started. Um, the only reason I could think this wouldn't work is like, I don't know, maybe this isn't getting called. Um, I don't know. Let's look at their docs again. So, example of configuring test task type for type debug. So I wonder, okay, so if that doesn't work, running cover HTML report, um, I'm gonna run test debug unit test. But I think that's what cover was running. It was running test debug unit test, but I could be wrong. Yeah, it's running it for each of the things, but then it's saying for debug to, oh, is that the issue? Um, and then, so do I need to set, do I need, ooh, okay, so my hunch is, if this still doesn't work, yeah, okay, so that didn't even reject anything. So now my hunch is thinking that this is only applying to test debug unit test. And so um, I wonder if I need this line. And basically, if this creates like a custom report for the debug flavor. And maybe that's what's happening. And then maybe I need a way, because the other thing I could try that I considered trying, I'm going to copy or comment this out for a moment. The other thing I considered trying was to see if like I could do this globally. And I could say like always exclude this. Let's just try this. I'm going to try and whoop. Okay, yeah, here it doesn't. Okay, so here it doesn't work. That already yelled at me. Um, no. So let's add this line and see what this does for me. Um, Yeah. So I think that's what Learning to Code just said. So it seems like release unit test might be overriding the report, which would make sense. And maybe that's why they need this, is so it sets like a debug report, and maybe it generates one of each. Uh, that's what we're going to find out when this is done running. I'm going to take a look for like custom debug report or something and see if I can find that somewhere. Um, but then I wonder if there's a way. Oh, then maybe this is what Raphael said. We could just remove the if and like exclude for all of them. Uh, we're gonna try that next if this doesn't do anything, or even if it does, we can go there next. But I want to see what this will do for me. This would be a great blog post. Something to think about. I haven't done a blog post in like a couple months. It's been a while. Um, okay, build successful. But can we find? Did that custom one get generated? Well, let's take a look at what this does, if anything. Might be worth to force your project to build only one variant at a time so all these plugins aren't generating stuff against variants you don't always care about. Yeah, that's valid. I wanted to see um, yeah, app, build, custom. Oh, so it just made the bin. Um, I don't know what this means. Um, okay, let's try that. Let's get rid of that, and let's get rid of that if statement and just have this run for everything. Um, Yeah, that makes sense. I've done that on like CI as well. At my last job, we eventually had like we had enough unit tests that it was taking like almost like 30 minutes. And then that was running like twice because it was running test and debug. So we changed our CI to only run debug unit test, um, because that's all we actually cared about. But what I was thinking of is like, so this would have been fine, but um, I don't know if cover HTML report, if I can like specify to only run for unit tests. Um, uh, hmm. Okay, but anyways, we remove the if statement. So for all of our tests, we configure this cover plugin to exclude. And so basically what I'm doing to test this is I'm basically telling it to exclude everything. But I just want to know that it works. And then we can fix this excludes to be more accurate. Um, and we'll see. Can I confirm that this even ran the... Yeah, okay, test debug unit test does run. Okay, that ran. So let's go here. Let's refresh. Hey, okay, that did work. So yeah, it was probably something complicated about this running twice. Um, and look, we excluded everything except what I wanted to. Um, so now let's change this. We're gonna copy this. So for our excludes, we're gonna add this, and then hilt aggregated depths. Um, now I can swap exclude with include. I could, but no, I'm just gonna switch this around and then we'll do it this way. Um, this is actually really nice, and I want to see if I can work this into coveralls and um, uh, at work and get rid of some of our like annoying Jacoco code. Um, but it would be like I wonder. I didn't see anything in the docs, so I don't know how this would work, but I wonder if this can work with Android UI testing, like instrumentation testing. I have no idea if that's true or not, but um, we could find out. Ooh, also it's 8:40, and I said I would wrap up by 9. So let's get this working. Let's get our coverage report down and exclude the things that we care about. And then once we've done that, we'll call it an early night tonight. Do I have, I think I made, okay, I did add the pull request for this already. So yeah, let's play around with getting our coverage report to where we want it to be, and then we can call it a night. Nice. Okay, let's see what we get. Oh, interesting. This didn't get ignored. Wait, neither did this. I probably need those wildcards at the end. Um, oh, and I wonder, um, even though I'm not using single quotes, I might still need to escape this. Um, let's find out. We're going to keep experimenting together real quick. This is how I have to do things sometimes. I just kind of have to trial and error. It's what we do as developers. Um, although, wait, I feel like this went up. Um, even though it doesn't look like anything I excluded actually got excluded. Um, but it looked like the coverage went up, I thought. But I could be wrong. I need to go back to the VOD and check that. Trial and error is a valid way of developing. Um, and we all do it. It's and it's a great way to like, I mean, just explore. Like sometimes when I have something working, I just commit the working code, but then I go back and I just try different things because I want to see like, well, what would happen? Um, yeah. I want to know how I could have cover run only for test debug unit test. Like, um, like does cover HTML report take like a um support with that? Um, yeah, because I want to see like, can I just run it on? Hmm, there's probably a way to have this only run um for like debug tests, but I'd have to spend more time on it. Aha! So adding the wildcards at the end helped. Um, our coverage didn't go up a whole bunch, but now all of these packages look like our code. So, but maybe we could click through and see, aha, so like here's a couple things that should not have been included. Um, so interesting. I wonder how I want to do this. I kind of want to just take each of these and ignore them or exclude them. Um, let's keep going. Data, we know that's covered. DI. Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense that the like hilt modules would never be covered, right? Doesn't it? Um, so you know what we could do? We could add McNeely dot core dot di TOA dot core dot di. We can ignore everything in the DI folder. Um, I don't want to ignore. Ooh, see, this is another thing. Oh my God, it's for ants again. This is another thing that I don't like is I see this happen sometimes where there's UI text, but then there's this UI text KT. Oh, I think that's because I have extension functions. So it generates like two files, like one for the extension function. Um, and technically, uh, this when if I write like UI tests, this would get covered eventually. So we're gonna leave that one. The theme folder, I guess I wouldn't really expect that to be covered. Um, Even in UI tests, I'm not like running anything through these. So let's ignore that too. Um, but domain model, those should be tested repository. Ooh, what are these factories? Oh, well, this class might get removed later, so we'll leave that for now. Use cases should get tested, login. Yeah, I don't like, what is composable singletons? I saw that in another package. Um, okay, let's ignore all of those. Um, we can just say anywhere we see composable singletons. You can also do that with like anything with the word hilt in it. This might bite me, but chances are I'm not going to make a file with the word hilt in it. So that's another thing. Okay, so let's add these excludes, and then let's see what our report looks like after this. Hopefully it looks a lot better. Thanks, Raphael, for sharing this. I'm excited to go watch that YouTube video for this. Learn more about how they use it. But I think it's really interesting. Uh, I mean, one nice thing about only having like 9 tests is at least this is really fast. Um, I'm surprised it's not faster. Maybe I need that M1. Um, there was a tweet a while ago by someone who said they bought they said that no, listen, Prince. So someone at the uh was like, "Oh, we bought, M1 Pros for our Android team and their build times were cut in half." And I remember thinking like, "Ha ha ha, I should share this with the company." But I didn't. But then someone else found that same tweet and they posted it in there. And someone tagged our VP of engineering and he's like, "We'll look into it." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "No way." I'm like, so now I'm like, fingers crossed. I'm like hoping something cool comes out of that conversation. Okay, look at that. All right, we're up to 32% coverage. And we got like some more stuff. Um, Build config should be ignored. Let's add that. Um, okay, but let's see. Yeah, but it goes back to like earlier I said I don't mind uh I don't mind using things that the Kotlin team builds because they build some really cool stuff. Um, Although something that they have built that I haven't looked at in a while is like their documentation generator that like takes your KDocs and like generates like HTML files and stuff. Um, I thought about using that now just to see what it would look like. Um, has anyone made? Last time I looked at this, there was no good solution. but I want to see like a tool where it will take your Kotlin docs and generate a GitHub wiki. And I haven't seen like a good solution for that yet. But I'm sure that like one exists. Okay, so it is almost time. So what I'm gonna do is run this one more time and see what it looks like after this final exclude, and then we'll call it a night. But thank you all for joining me tonight. I'm sorry tonight was a short stream, and I know that dev experience isn't always like the most exciting, but hopefully it was interesting. I hope you all like the version updates thing we did in the beginning. Um, Test coverage was slow because I didn't really know what I was doing. But I think next week we can come back to yeah, now you can go to sleep. Those of you who watch my stream till like 4 in the morning. What's wrong with y'all? Um, uh, yeah. Um, yeah, it's good stuff. I think like yeah, I think it's cool. Sometimes it gets overlooked and like because so many of us work on like product stuff, but developer experience is really important. And like having an app that is like, you know, having all the tooling you need to make sure your app behaves the way you want it to, having test coverage, having, you know, version updates checks, all the static analysis and like the pull request automation, all these things that I've kind of talked about in the developer experience streams, like they're crucial to building an app. They're just as important as all the UI work, all of the product work that goes into it, you know. Um, okay, that didn't really change anything. All right, so 32% coverage. Um, or I actually don't know. Well, that's the class percentage. I don't know which one of these I should be looking at. Is it block? What does block mean? I don't know. Um, let's look at somewhere we did write test for, which is um, like oh, where's login use case? So like login use case has 100% coverage, which is cool. Um, wait, just go with the higher number. Yeah. Um, how to check 3 logcats with over 40,000 lines for something that can trigger my app to stop working without a crash. I have no idea. What do you mean it stops working without a crash? Do you call activity.finish somewhere without realizing it? Um, that would be my best guess. What is this? I don't know. This factory is probably a hilt thing. So we're gonna ignore those because I saw that somewhere else too. So we're gonna ignore anything that's like underscore factory. Um, okay. So I think so that's it for tonight. I think next time we can either maybe we'll do more UI work or maybe we'll take these learnings and we will um increase this coverage and go through some of the screens. Yeah, this login. This must be a hilt generated class here. These like underscore factory things. Um, okay. Hmm. All right. Oh, see, it's Samsung specific. Classic. Happens to the best of us. Gotta love those Samsung specific bugs. All right. Well, thank you all for coming by. That was fun. Hope y'all learned something. Uh, let me know if you have other cool like developer experience ideas that we can look at in the future. Thanks again for sharing this plugin. Um, uh, yeah. All right. We'll see you all next Wednesday.